Oh my God, we are live. Hello. Um, this is Frederick here on our live for tonight. It's a little terrifying, actually, I must admit. I haven't done this before, but we are live both on Facebook and on Instagram at the same time. So I've actually got kind of two cameras in front of me. Anyway, hopefully this is all going to be okay. And tonight's a special occasion because we're going to be talking about Christmas memories. Now, obviously, memories, we love them, our family quilt. I mean, at the end of the day, this is what we're here. We are here to help families collect their family memories. Our system is there to be, to be used by families, to tell the stories of their lives that are fabulous and that they want to remember and one day pass on. And actually, if you've not yet looked at our website, I would say please go and check us out. We're on Family Quilt, one word, .net, and you can see how our system, our website works and what you can get with our lifetime subscription. So to go back to memories, obviously, so we love them. Obviously, we're bound to love them, and that's why we're here. However, obviously, Christmas memories are kind of quite special, really. It is, oh, hi, Claire. Hi, Caroline. Oh, these are people that were here last week as well. That's lovely. Um, so, yes, so Christmas memories are kind of really quite special. And that's why we've made it our competition this year. You may have seen we have launched the competition. I think it was about Sunday last week. We've already had some lovely, lovely stories come in. We're asking people to actually write in the feed, and you like our post, write in the feed one of their best Christmas memories, and the winners will be getting a free subscription to Family Quilt as well as a book for us to print. So if you haven't yet done it, I'll tell you again at the end, but if you haven't yet done it, please go and put in your lovely memories. So yeah, so Christmas is a really special time of year, and when you kind of talk about Christmas memories, so in order to prepare for today, what I did, or for tonight, what I did is I went and I asked, various people in my family. I asked my husband, I asked my children, I asked my mother-in-law actually, what kind of memories that they had, and what is really fascinating when you kind of get some of that is you realize actually Christmas memories are not just about Christmas Day. They actually are over a very long period of time, and somehow the Christmas season starts at some point, maybe December, or even these days, even November. There's something kicks it off in the family, and the whole spirit kind of gets you going. And I think the other day I was coming back from London, and they had the switching of the Christmas lights in Windsor, and it was really lovely. Everybody was singing carols, and you kind of felt that was it. The Christmas season was launched, and in our family, it used to be actually the Christmas Advent calendar, which actually is behind me right here, which is and that was, you would go on the wall, and we have little pockets, and every day we would pull out something, and we would put a little present for the boys, and they absolutely loved it. And at the time, that was really what was what was kind of exciting for all of us. And by the way, I didn't say that, but guys, please, as you go along, do share your memories. If you have stuff that you want to, this is, I mean, I know I do talk to a camera and maybe sometimes a bit boring, but, it would be lovely to have a kind of a conversation. Let me have your question, whatever it is, it would be, it's a great chit chat time, really. Shame I don't have my glass of wine with me, but let's give it a try. So, and I can see on Facebook, on Instagram, there's quite a few people joining, except that you guys, I would have to read you like this because my camera is the wrong way. Anyway, let me continue about this kind of Christmas season. So yeah, for a lot of people, it starts at all sorts of time, whether it's the switching of the Christmas lights, or the Advent calendar, or the bringing the Christmas tree in the house. But really, Christmas is a period, and that's probably why we have so many memories at the end of it, because pretty much right now is a whole of December, and potentially a little bit as well into kind of January. All this, so there's lots, to kind of remember about. The other thing, obviously, when you start to talk about Christmas memories, is you realize it is all about tradition. And hi, Lou. And a lot of people go back to, kind of, they tell you all of the way they're doing, and they've done it for a long time. And it's fascinating because, what we can guarantee, we're all going to be eating a certain type of food. We're all going to be drinking too much. We're probably all going to have the family together. We're all going to have a tree, and there's going to be so many things that we all do exactly the same. And then there's some kind of little things that we do that are specific to our family, and we've done that for a long time. And it's kind of interesting, to think, why do we do what we do? Exactly, the little bit of the differences, and kind of in our family, for instance, obviously, I'm French and my husband is English, and we always have had a little bit of Christmas that is French and a little bit of Christmas that's kind of in English, English, and so in France we very much celebrate Christmas Eve, and so every single time we've had Christmas in England, we have still celebrated Christmas Eve, and we have some great memories from our Christmas Eve celebrations, because in a way to our English family it's a little bit special, a bit unusual, to be doing something like that. So we've kind of mix and match, some of the things that we do. We also do a crib in our house. Oh, I forgot actually my little santon where upstairs. It's a little kind of replica of the scene in Jerusalem. And if you're in France, depending on the regions in which you live, you might have very different looking ones. So I come from the south, so from Provence, and there we have little santons that look like provincial, Provençal kind of people. And my best friend is in Brittany, and she has a completely different looking one. But the important thing about this is at midnight, you have to put the little baby Jesus in the crib. And if you're a child, that's another kind of lovely tradition that I remember, that, it's always the youngest child that's going to go and kind of put it in the crib, obviously, if they're still kind of alive. So all of Christmas are made of lots of traditions. We all kind of do the same, but we kind of not really, doing the same exactly. The thing about Christmas as well, it's a one time of the year where families come together. And I was kind of trying to remember about a time in my adult life which I have not spent Christmas with my parents, and I could only think of once, and that's when we lived in Sydney. And so it was a really long way, and we were there for 3 years. And one of our Christmas, we couldn't make it back home, or actually, we decided not to make it back home because we wanted to have a summer Christmas. And you know what? It was a bit weird to go on the beach on Christmas Day, but it was really strange not to have our family, around us. So Christmas is one of those times where everybody goes home, however old quite often your children are, this is a time when you go home. And it actually took me quite a long time to even bring my boyfriend home, because for a long time, he's not my husband, who for a long time you kind of go back to your family, because this is what you do. And it is a time where you, I think, actually look forward to spending a little bit of time for your with your family, and kind of catching up and slobbing on the sofa and chit chatting about memories of the past. And again, it makes it special for memories, because it means that they are joint memories. They are not just memories that you've made on a particular day, on a particular trip. It's actually memories that, your children share with you, and your parents share with you, and maybe also some of your kind of broader family share with you. And that might be why, at Christmas, when you're down around the table, quite often you do get all those old stories out, and you think, cracky, really, and grandma did this, and when the children went young, we did that, and all sorts of stuff comes out, because it is the one time where you really, have the whole of, your family together. Now, there's no doubt Christmas is special when you have children. And actually, I put in a story for our competition this week about remembering about Christmas when I was young. Um, and, my father banging on the walls, trying to pretend that he was kind of Father Christmas arriving. Um, but actually, I think there's nothing quite more magical than when you have your own children. And I think suddenly Christmas has a new kind of meaning. It isn't just family, it's about making it magical for your little ones. And yes, they get overtired, and yes, you get overexcited, and yes, they get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. But when you get up in that morning and you see their little eyes in front of the tree, and it is all incredible, um, it is a memory that is really hard, kind of really hard to forget. And in a way, you've only got a short window, a 5 or 6 years window, where this Father Christmas thing is real for them. But it does really add an incredible magical dimension to it, and actually makes me smile thinking about it, because one of my nephew in my family got very excited about Christmas, even all the way till he was 15. And by that point, we would all have a big celebration on Christmas Eve, and we were actually looking forward to not having to get up at 5 a.m. But Freddie was always the one that we knew, if anybody was going to be up really early, he really, really wanted to get going, because he was, so exciting. And so, it's magical, even as you get older, really. Now, it gets me going about presents, actually, and thinking that when you ask people about their Christmas memories, it really is about the presents people talk about. Um, they're a big part of it because we're all going to spend a lot of money, probably on it, probably too much on some of them. And we'll be very excited. We'll have lots of anticipation about getting presents, and we'll be very excited about giving presents because they also somehow say that we care, And I know for us in our family, we do sit down and we talk about what are we going to buy for whom, and we try to think about what would they like to have. Um, but often it's not the presents that people remember, unless there's something quite unusual about them. And I've just seen actually today somebody put in a Christmas memories on our competition around having their dog play with the wrapping paper of the present they had bought the dog. And it reminded me that in one of my earlier working life, I worked for a company that made some pet food, and Christmas was a big time for pet owners as well. And people would put little Christmas presents for the dog or for their cat under the trees. And it really shows you it really is all around, kind of everybody, kind of in the family, including your pets. Um, and so, there we go. Christmas memories, will keep going on. It is that time of year. It happens every year, which probably means that, every year we kind of build on the last year. And yet, the 1st of December will come, or the Christmas light switching on will come, and we'll all be sitting there excited about it and ready to go. And all of this kind of amazing, amazing excitement, kind of comes back to us, and we start shopping, and we start planning, and we start getting our clothes. This is what I'm going to be wearing on Christmas Eve, actually. I wore it last year, but I really, really, kind of like it. And yes, Christmas changes a little bit. And it was funny talking about, thinking about what has changed. And my mother-in-law was talking about, how they used to put candles on their Christmas trees, when she was young on Christmas Day. And these days we're not going to be putting Christmas candles on Christmas tree. We may have this kind of home wired, kind of latest technology of lights that will switch on when there is movement in the room. And we may have a different way of tracking Father Christmas, I think, or pretending Father Christmas where he is. And when I was little, my father used to bang on a wall, and today we go on this kind of website and we can track Father Christmas, around the globe. So there's lots of different ways of doing it. And so, yes, it is changing. There's a little bit more technology coming to it, and we have less wooden toys and more computer games. But fundamentally, it hasn't really changed. And when I hear my parents talk about their memories, when I hear my mother-in-law talk about hers, when I remember what we used to do when we were little, and when I see what we do today, in actual fact, we pretty much do the same kind of thing. We've had new babies come into the family. We've had new partners, husbands and wives, and, come in. We have moved on to doing it into our house rather than doing it at our parents'. But fundamentally, we kind of do the same. And so the kind of the traditions, kind of continues. And in the same year, this kind of immense, I think, for me, a really big warmth in our heart, and we feel grateful that another year has come. For me, I will feel grateful that my father, who is 91, fingers crossed, will still be with us at the end of the month when we have another Christmas, together as a family. And we will have this, lovely happiness and lovely gratefulness. And that's why we are really keen to hear about your memories, and hear, what do you think? What are your best memories? Please share them. It is a time to share. It is a time to be happy, and we would love to hear your stories in our kind of competition. And I can see some more people have come in, and maybe I've got to do this as well. Hi, Keely. Or Keely was one of the photos that we've posted on our, for this live, when she took our elder son Jack to see Father Christmas. That was in 1997. And it was nice to see everybody thought she just looks the same now that she used to look. So, it is a lovely time of the year, and we're certainly looking forward to it. I'm really excited about it. We're going to be in France this year, and for us, every year is a bonus because my father, hopefully, as I say, will be with us for another year. The boys are really excited that we're going to be again the whole kind of family together. And we're going to do a little bit in Christmas of England and a little bit in France. I know we're going to make lovely memories. I hope you make lovely memories too. I hope you capture them. And I know this is a super busy time of year, so it's really hard to go in and, start to write stuff and to capture it. But as you kind of go through the month and you have memories that come back in your mind, just jot them somewhere, and if you fancy trying them on Family Quilt, come January, if you've got time, write them down, because one day when you kind of scroll through your quilt of stories, you will really enjoy going back down memory lane and remembering how amazing all of those Christmases have been over the years for you and for your family. And I think that's what I'm going to end in for tonight, actually. If you have any question, post them. If you have any favorite topics or everything you would want us to talk about in the weeks to come, please, put them down in the feed as well. Would love to hear that, and then we can make sure we kind of talk about what it is that you're interested to hear about. But in the meantime, I'm going to wish you obviously all the very best, but I know I will do it again for Christmas. So I'm going to wish you all the very best for the next week, preparing whatever it is you are, doing the little Christmas thing that you're already going to do, and really enjoy it. Just, in your heart, feel warm and grateful and enjoy every minute of it. And so until next week.